All right, good evening. I'm going to call to order the Board of Education meeting for the Pittsford Central School District. If you'll please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a motion for approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Thank you, Renee.
Second.
Thank you, Emily. Any changes or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Motion carries. And first up tonight, we have the principal's report. Marissa from Jeff Road Elementary School.
Hi, everyone. It's an honor and a privilege to be here tonight as the Jefferson Road Elementary School principal. And thank you to all the staff that came tonight to show their support for our school. Jefferson Road is a very special place with a lot of heart. I think one of the most wonderful parts of the last 4 months is just getting to know the children and the staff and what they value about Jefferson Road. I want to share with you a quote. Laura Grafoni actually said, "Kids genuinely feel that teachers and staff are part of their family. It's a place where classroom community is about relationships and accepting everyone." And that's truly what Jefferson Road is all about. The faculty and staff are truly stellar, and as we've moved into the Amplify math program, they have embraced this implementation and provided students with the highest quality instruction. They're utilizing the enrichment resources that are part of it, and extension resources, as well as the support resources that it provides, the high quality professional development that they've engaged in. They've had the opportunity to work with the coach that came from Amplify to give them feedback, and I've even seen that wonderful feedback included when I've been in to observe lessons, and they really truly are a top-notch staff. I don't think I've ever worked with such an amazing group of people. This year, we've had a wonderful collaboration. Thank you to Patty Chodak at the high school. She's a high school social studies teacher and also club advisor for Wordworms. And so she brought a whole bunch of high schoolers over. There's probably upwards of 15 students who came and brought their favorite childhood story to read to our second graders. And so after they shared their favorite story, they had the opportunity to make a bookmark together and really help foster that love of reading and be positive role models for our students. It was really a wonderful celebration of the youngest students in our school district being inspired by our oldest. Fire safety is something that we had the good fortune of Mrs. George's father, who is an authentic New York City firefighter, actually in 9/11 as well. He came and spoke to our youngest students about fire prevention and how to stay safe, and it was just something really wonderful. And again, it's all in the family at Jefferson Road. This was one of the most impressive community service projects I've ever seen. Our student council collaborated with the PTSA and daily would count the generous donations of our school community. There were 2,990 items collected for the needy. And this was just such a wonderful effort when you think about the mission of our school district and the idea that we are trying to foster that sense of giving back. And giving to others. This was just such a great example of it. And Mary Kokinda, who is our student council advisor, really led the children in spearheading this, and it was just such a wonderful celebration. Mrs. Chesko in the auditorium had the kids singing a school-wide song that she taught them. It was just such a great feeling of community. Also, Mrs. Chesko does a fabulous job with the winter sing-along. This is one of the traditions at Jeff Road where everybody gathers in the auditorium and they get to sing, honoring lots of different traditions and cultures. It was just another treasured moment at Jeff Road. Our winter concerts were so impressive. To see the abilities of how far students come, not even in a full school year. We have such talent in our instructors. Mrs. Grace and Miss Allgauer, as well as Miss Stiano, just knocked it out of the ballpark. Our families were so impressed as well. The singing that the children were able to do, and the solos, and so watch out, middle school. Here they come, and they're gonna knock your socks off. One of the most special nights I've had at Jeff Road was our popsicles with the PTSA and principal. This was just an effort to try to get to know families, besides at the drop-off loop in the morning. But the popsicle effort was really just to come and have a relaxed atmosphere and come chill with the principal and the PTSA. It was a hit, and there was a lot of wonderful, the kids had a great time. They made this huge mural, and it was just a really wonderful hour to spend together as a school community. Habits of Mind is a new initiative this year for Jefferson Road. There's a book study going on where Lindsay Alley has come over and done this fabulous job of teaching our school about the habits of mind, and Jeff Road has really embraced it. The teachers and staff have done such a wonderful job of honoring students through little shout outs that they get, and then also they get a certificate at our assembly. We have focused this year on interdependence, managing our impulsivity, and right now we are going to be celebrating on Friday, noticing with wonderment and awe. So it's just such a wonderful, these are wonderful life skills that will continue with our children throughout their lives. When you think about it, even as an adult, it's important to stop and pause and notice with wonderment and awe and appreciate what's going on around you. So it's just, these are wonderful things that our kids will carry with them for a very long time. And so that is the end of my presentation. It's been a wonderful 4 months at Jefferson Road. I can't say enough good things about the amazing faculty and staff and students and families. What an amazing group of families who are so supportive. And it truly is a special place to learn and grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Marissa. It was great to come and visit Jeff Road. I know the board really enjoyed our time with all of you, and actually thank you to the whole Jeff Road crew that's here tonight. Thank you. Next up, may I please have a motion for approval of the January 13th, 2026 minutes? Thank you, Robin. Kim? Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries. And next on the agenda, may I please have a motion for approval of the February 3rd, 2026 minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Sarah.
Second.
Thank you, Renee. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Next up, we have the Board of Education reports. I'll open up the table if any members would like to report out on any committees that they sit on.
Just want to say real quick that MCSBA is traveling to Albany on Thursday. We have just 4 meetings that we are going to get in really quickly within just a couple of hours, focusing on foundation aid and state aid in general, UPK, and the governor's proposal to increase the funding there. And looking at the grid and the electric grid capacity with that as well. So I'll give a full summary on everything that's been happening. This has been a really busy month for advocacy. So at our next meeting, I plan to have a full report on everything that's been going on. So just wanted to keep you updated on that. Thank you.
So information exchange, the last meeting was about community schools, which was really interesting. A lot of great information. Just didn't really seem to apply to Pittsford too much, but still fantastic information. So it was worth checking out if you have a chance.
All right, thank you, Sarah and Kim. Other Monroe County School Boards Association meetings coming up, or the board leadership will meet on March 25th. The executive committee will meet on April 22nd. The information exchange will meet on April 15th. District Operations Committee will meet on February 25th. Legislative Committee will meet on March 4th, and the Steering Committee will meet on March 25th. Next up, a student board report.
Hello, I'll be reporting for Mendon today, and Menora unfortunately could not make it, so she's feeling a little bit under the weather. So we only have one report today, but I want to talk a little bit about what's been going on at Mendon. And so before break, we had our community building activity with Sources of Strength, and that was really fun. We had an X block day, and at the end of the day, we stayed in our classrooms and did a fun activity where we solved some puzzles and then got different pieces, and I really enjoyed it. I know my class really enjoyed it, and a lot of my friends also said that it was super fun. So that was a great way to kind of head into break. It was the day before break, so it was really fun. And then also we had hot chocolate in the Commons the day before break, I believe. That was done by Student Council along with Sources of Strength. That was really fun during the lunch periods. Who doesn't love free food, right? And then spring sports registration has opened up, but I believe it's coming to an end. So kids are getting, students are getting really excited for that as spring sports start to pick up again. And then over break, there were a lot of holidays that kind of started or were celebrated. Some of them that I know, Ramadan started over break, and then we also celebrated the Lunar New Year over break, and Lent also started over break. So those are fun, a lot of different holidays that the students at Mendon are celebrating. And then we just came off of break, and we're all super excited for our next musical for Mendon. We have 2 musicals this year. So this musical is The Drowsy Chaperone, and the opening night will be the 5th of March, and they're going to have shows on the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, and all the cast and crew are super excited and getting ready for that. And that's kind of it at Mendon. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for keeping us up with everything going on in Mendon. There's a lot of great activities and a lot of fun happening over there, so thank you. Dates to remember: on March 5th, we have the capital project referendum vote. That's open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Calkins Road Middle School. March 5th, also the Board of Education will tour Calkins Road and visit with the staff. And on March 10th is our next regularly scheduled board meeting. And next, may I please have a motion for approval of capital project vote and poll workers? Thank you, Dave. Emily, any questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Financial report, Shayna.
You can see how many items they're trusting me with here. At our last meeting, it was approved for the purchase of a transit van. So on the consent agenda is the bid award for that Ford Transit all-wheel drive van.
Thank you. And Human Resources report.
Thank you and good evening. First for your consideration is the professional staff report. We have 3 certificated staff appointments, 1 SRP appointment, 1 administrator resignation for retirement, 1 administrator resignation. We have per diem substitute appointments and spring coaching salaries.
We have a motion for approval of the professional staff report.
Second.
Thank you. Got it. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you. Next for your consideration is the support staff report. We have one clerical resignation, 2 transportation appointments, 1 transportation resignation, 2 custodial maintenance resignations for retirement, 1 maintenance termination, and 1 food services termination.
You may have a motion for approval of the support staff report. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Robin. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you. And finally, we have memorandums of agreement on the consent agenda and first readings for tenure recommendations.
Thank you, Sean. Next on the agenda is special education report. Elizabeth.
Good evening. The Committee on Special Education recommendations are on the consent agenda.
Thank you. Superintendent's report.
Thank you. There is not a need for an executive session this evening. We do have for your consideration approval for a field trip to Houston, Texas for our Mendon High School robotics team.
May I have a motion for approval of the field trip to Houston for the Mendon High School robotics team? Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Renee. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you. And then we also have for your consideration the 2026-2027 school year calendar. I know you have the completed calendar in your packet. A couple items of note. Students start immediately following the Labor Day break on September 8th. We are continuing to observe Yom Kippur in September as a holiday. We've also added Eid as a holiday on March 10th. And you'll also note that spring break is occurring very early next year in middle March, which causes a very long gap. So we've added an extra day to the long weekend for Memorial Day, so Friday through Monday. But there'll be an asterisk on that day. This calendar includes 3 inclement weather or emergency days. So if we run through those, then we would not be taking that long weekend in May.
May I have a motion for approval of the 2026-2027 school calendar?
So moved.
Thank you, Sarah.
Second.
Thank you, Robin. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you. And we have a huge amount of gifts to the district that I just wanted to acknowledge. Our PTSA, again, has given us gifts in the amounts of $1,500 to purchase community service pins, to Mendon Center Elementary School for the purchase of their school folders for the 26-27 school year, and $3,650 to the Mendon Center Art program, which is proceeds from their Square One Art fundraiser. And then in addition to that, our Pittsford Education Foundation has given a donation to our Student Opportunity Fund in the amount of $2,000. And really exciting for us is we have been able to start through really just the work of our athletic department and Dr. Patrick Irving. His work with the NFL and the Buffalo Bills helped us to receive a grant for $3,000 to start up girls flag football at the modified level. And in order to accept that, we had to start it this spring, which we have. And in order to help that be something that we could ensure we could fund over time, our Pittsford Education Foundation has given us a donation of $30,000. So huge thank you to the Education Foundation that will fund the modified girls flag football for the next 3 years. So to everyone who's donated to the foundation, those are the types of things that we're able to do, especially in times like this. So we're very grateful for those donations, and those are on the consent agenda. A few things to mention. Do you have a question, Renee?
I do.
Yeah.
You said a gift of $30,000?
$30,000 from the Pittsford Education Foundation.
So in the report, it says $3,000.
Oh, in the packet?
Yep.
Okay.
I just wanted to clarify.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
The Buffalo Bills are $3,000.
Oh, sorry. It's $3,000 from the Buffalo Bills and $30,000 from the Pittsford Education Foundation.
There we go. Thank you.
Sure, of course. Thank you. A few items. First, congratulations to our girls alpine ski team who won the state championship today. So we're very excited for them. And they had the fire trucks pulling into Mendon High School tonight. So huge congratulations to our girls. We're so proud of them. Happy Ramadan to all of our families who are celebrating. Thank you, Masude, for our special treat. Our schools have sent out messages to families and made announcements just so that if students need somewhere during the day, whether for prayer or fast, if they don't want to be in the cafeterias during lunchtime, those are all things that have been taken care of at the school. So if anyone has questions about that, just reaching out to the school counselor or school principal, they can figure out where their spaces are for their students. So as we talked about at the budget session, and we've been having ongoing conversations just about the budget reduction that we've been in right now. It's a process that we've been looking at for about 6 months, knowing that we've had a deficit coming up between $1.5 and $2 million. We know that we'll also be, we predict we'll be in this situation again next year. So what we're really trying to do is work in collaboration with all of our units. Our PDAA and PDTA have been incredible partners in just really looking thoughtfully around how can we make reductions in ways that don't result in job loss, even though we know that we do have to look at positions differently. So through doing some restructuring and looking at attrition, we've been able to plan for a reduction of $1.5 million. And right now we've been working to communicate personally with folks who will be impacted, again, not losing jobs, but that will restructure. And our team has been so great at looking at when we're in this situation and we have to reduce positions, how can we also use that to bring maybe back supports that might make more sense for our students right now? So if we've had positions that have been put in place to help fix problems in the moment while we're reducing those, what else can we bring back in that might help in terms of either mental health support or behavior support or more flexible supports that we can use to maybe meet some of the growing needs that we're seeing with our students currently. So we're trying to remain innovative and still able to meet the needs of all of our students. But it's definitely a challenging time, and it's made it much better to have partners who are really looking toward the future and helping to be able to make sure that our staff really remain feeling valued and important parts of our students' experiences as we're working through that process. So, so really grateful for the teamwork that we've had. And I just really wanted to highlight today, I know Heather shared quite a bit, and Marissa did as well in her report around some of the instructional work that's been happening. But the work that Heather Clayton has been leading around our multi-tiered system of support, so really looking at what are those promises that all of our kids get. When we say Tier 1, we mean all students. And so making sure that we don't have 5 different experiences happening at 5 different elementary schools or 2 different experiences happening at 2 middle schools or high schools. That is work that has been really important to take on, and looking at things like having our first ever math program that is consistent through all K through 5 grade levels, looking at the diagnostic screenings that are coming in at the middle level, just seeing the folks come in today and be able to work with people from iReady, look at their students' data, talk to each other, collaborate around student data. That is work that wouldn't happen without the leadership that Heather has brought to that. So in addition to the foundations work and the spelling work and the work that's happening at the 6 through 12 level, I think she's really just been persistent in having a guaranteed and viable curriculum for our students, and really asking the question of what are the promises that we're making to all of our students. So what are we going to guarantee that every student has? And if we don't know that they have it or that they're not getting it at the Tier 1 level, how are we bringing in supports that are consistent at Tier 2 and Tier 3 to help ensure that everyone is reaching that level. So it's been really impressive to watch that work and the persistence that it's taken, not just to put something in place, but to make sure then that our staff have the supports and the time and the resources to do it with fidelity and make sure that we're maximizing those supports has been significant. So it's really been fun to watch. It's the work of many, but it really takes that strategic thinking and that long-range leadership. So it's just been fun to partner on. So thank you, Heather, for all of that work. And with that, the only other thing I'll just mention is, I know last time, it was only a few weeks ago we talked, we had people coming in to do a lot of focus groups. We had about 90 participants in our focus groups, so we have a lot of data to look at. Our district planning team met and looked at our more quantitative data that we already had in place last month. In March, we're going to be looking at the results of the survey data that went out to all of our stakeholders, and then in April, we'll be looking at the results of that focus group information. So we're just excited to see, kind of sift through it all and see what it means and try and make meaning of it for ourselves and for our community. So we're excited to report that back to the board and to the community and gather more feedback, and then really get our hands into it, and this summer be able to turn that into our next strategic plan. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Shana. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Thank you, Robin. Renee, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Any old business? Any new business? With that, may I have a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Dave.
Second.
Sarah, all in favor? We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.